All right, guys, welcome back. Real tough talk, keeping it going, keeping it moving. Next game we're going to talk about is Don't Sleep versus Rep City. Now, Don't Sleep is coming in off of a loss to the Monarchs, 33-26, but Mick played very well, putting up 26 points. Rep City's coming off of a shutout loss to UTB 18-zip. Now, this defense was labeled as number one of the best defenses in the league as far as Rep City. The offense has been somewhat inefficient, especially their starting quarterback. Let's start off with Rep City. If they're not able to put points up this game, is it time to move on from Tommy as the starting quarterback of Rep City?
No. What's your option?
Grunk.
We had that discussion the previous game. Look, could he do it? Possibly, highly unlikely, only because he's not a quarterback first. He's going to go bomb happy. He's not Jeremy, where he can't run, you know. And we saw what happened to B-Dot when they had a good giver.
True.
Can you know, not to say that B-Dot is a bum blocker, but he had a hard time. I don't know.
Ghost, Mick is in fifth in touchdown passes coming into this week, but they still seem like teams are not giving this man his just deserves as far as his respect. Do you think he'll ever be able to get that based on his playing style?
No. He's not going to get it. Until he wins the championship, they're not going to pay no mind to him. Until he plays the teams that's criticizing him and beats them, they're not going to stop criticizing him. So he has to not worry about the criticism and just play his game. That's what he's been doing, and he has been successful in this season so far. So far so good. Just keep it going and don't worry about the criticism. That's my advice to him.
And I'm glad you said that, because one of the teams that's disrespecting him is this team he's playing in Rep City.
Yeah.
Especially Stoney. And it's going to be fun with the comments that I post up and I play for you at the end of this game. We'll go over that. So let's jump right into this game with Don't Sleep getting the ball first. Both their draft picks will be here, Rico and Prince Mo. Prince Mo, their first round, number 1 overall pick, and Rico, they got in the second round. Rep City, Cabby's going to be here, but once again, Ty is not here. A guy that they drafted high, I believe at number 5, they drafted. He is still not here. How much of a concern is that for you, Ghost, that Ty has not shown up? He only played one game this season.
I mean, that's a big concern. But at the end of the day, you reap what you sow when it comes to Rep City. I'm sure that some of their guys are familiar with Ty. They figured that he was going to show up to their games or whatever. But when it comes to specific draft picks, knowing that they're going to show up is a big decision, part of your decision when it comes to picking up these guys. No offense to them, but you got to have guys showing up so that you can know how they connect with your team. And if you don't show up, there's no way that you are going to be able to fit into the team come playoff time. You can't expect everything to be rainbows and everything. When the playoffs start, everything just works. I don't see that happening, and that's something that Rep City has to deal with right now.
All right, we're going to jump into the game. After getting the first down, Mick with blocker from Rob throws a Mike in the middle for a decent game. Second down, Mick throws to O in the gap, who shakes Cabby as he runs in for the touchdown. Rico gets the extra point, 7-0. Ghost, they score right off the bat.
If anybody is supposed to be taking you seriously, it's plays like this that do so. When he's able to, right off the gate, get some yardage on a big play and get into the end zone. And of course, the catalyst that started that drive is Mike. After getting that first down, Mike gets the ball. This is one person that constantly gets the ball. He is pretty much one of the guys that gets their offense going. And as long as Mick is able to get in connection with him on the offense, they're going to be that much better for it, and it's proof here.
After getting the first down, Tommy throws a Stoney in the gap for a decent game. Second down, Tommy's blitzed by Rob, who gets past B-Dot. Tommy throws it to Cabby in the gap, off target, incomplete. If you look here, Cabby's covered by Prince Mo. And this is what we need to see. Prince Mo is their number 1 draft pick. Prince Moore has to get involved in multiple ways as he's able to put the coverage on Cabby. This is what I like about Prince Moore, his ability to affect the ball on both sides. Third down, Tommy on forward, throws deep to Cabby in the back of the end zone. Incomplete. Izzy gets flagged for cursing. Rep City has to punt. Once again, Lou, we see Rep City getting the ball and not putting up points. What do you think about this drive?
Well, what was big was Izzy's cursing out of frustration. That's what that was. That was just straight up, you ain't get me the ball, I was open. You know, kind of selfish. You know what I'm saying? But I get it, because you're frustrated because your quarterback hasn't done anything. He doesn't look comfortable. Tommy does not look comfortable whatsoever. Then he doesn't have his teammate from Monsters Inc. there. You know, you don't really know these guys. You know what I'm saying? You've thrown what? 3 games? 3
Yep.
games. You should, you know, it is gonna come along, but he is not looking comfortable. It looks like he's rushing. Now, Ghost made a wonderful he said something on Saturday where he said what Tommy needs to do is chop up the field, and that's when they were moving the ball. But you don't see that.
I think he's getting he likes the downfield thing because he's seen him work successful with Grunk, and the fact that the guys like that style, and he's trying to be something he's not. Mick gets the ball on 4 rush, he throws the EB in the middle, who makes a nice catch for a decent game. I like this guy. I told him Ghost that from before. I'm gonna tell Ghost that during, and I'm gonna tell Ghost that at the end. I like this guy. EB is definitely a playmaker, and he uses no gloves. Reminds me of my brother Wise. Third down, Mick throws to Rico on the sideline for a decent game, picking up the first down. Then Mick throws to Mike again in the gap, getting him to the 20-yard line. Third down, Mick is blitzed by Stoney, who's blocked by Rob, but Mick is still stacked by Stoney, as Stoney celebrates. You know Stoney was feeling this. Stoney has no respect for Mick as a quarterback. He comes away with a big sack. Rob tries to give him time, but Stoney still makes these. Stoney's going to be Stoney. And he's going to try to make a play because he wants to celebrate. Ghost, tell me about the celebration.
It's going to come back to bite him, and it always does. This is Stoney's game and MO. My thing is, one thing I respect about Stoney is he going to be Stoney no matter what. Whether good or whether bad, hate it or love it, this is him. Whenever he makes a play, everybody knows about it, but this may come back to bite him in the end, and you're going to see how.
4th down at the 25-yard line. Mick with blocker from Rob gets a lot of time, and he's able to find JD in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. Stoney gets beat in the front of the end zone, 13-0, and you see B-Dot going ham at Stoney. A little bit too much celebrating early. Lou Ghost said it'd come back to bite him, and it certainly did.
Well, the thing was that when he made the sack, they were down, right? And you're celebrating as if you won a championship. That's number one. Then he says, "Who is this guy? Who is this guy?" That's the guy who just beat you on a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? Stoney is going to be Stoney, but you have to know when to celebrate. You're down.
And I just got to.
How is that? It wasn't a play that was going to change the game.
Right.
What Ghost was talking about, like, what is he doing?
Yeah. And I just got to say this. This was a 4th and 25 play. They were at the 25-yard line. So at the end of the day, there's a big stop. Normally, other teams would just toss it up in the air and just hope for a jump ball or whatever. You get the easy stop. Your offense is back on the field. Mick, with first of all, getting the time from Rob,
who doesn't get enough credit on this scene.
Yeah. And then with Stoney getting beat in front of the end zone, you stick with him for 1 second more, and this is a turnover. But because Stoney being Stoney, whenever he makes a big play, he also gives up a big play. And this one is the one that gives Mick another touchdown that could have been a turnover.
And shout to JD for staying with the play. A lot of people kind of disrespected him because they said, listen, he plays a carver, just comes in on the extra point. JD can catch the football, given the opportunity. He's on a team of Carver where he doesn't get many opportunities because the team is so stacked. But on Don't Sleep, he's going to get his opportunities, and he makes a big play here. This is a big play. Mick is waiting for him, and they know each other. So he knows where to go. And the problem with that is Stoney doesn't. JD knows where to go and Mick likes to get the ball. Stoney doesn't, and they both make him pay. 13-0, don't sleep. Tommy gets the ball back, throws to Izzy on the sideline. Izzy steps out before the catch, 5 yards and lost it down. That frustration with Izzy starting to hurt him out the rest of the game. Third down, Tommy throws a Shady in the middle for a nice game, picking up the first down. I like Shady. He just needs to be here. The best ability is availability, and he's not usually here consistently. When he's here, he's a playmaker. Tommy on 4 rush throws Izzy in the gap. Penny collides with Izzy, going for the ball, incomplete. I think we just saw this in the Raiders game.
Yeah.
We had 2 receivers run into each other. This is the fact that these guys don't play with each other often. This is the fact that Izzy been frustrated. So now we see Izzy get a cursing penalty. Now we see Izzy step out before the catch. Now we see Izzy run into his own play. Not a good day for Izzy. Last down, Tommy with blocker from P-Dot scrambles as Rob gets through. Throws it up incomplete, turnover on downs. Rep City gets stopped again. Lou, they have to be concerned with this inability to put up points.
Very concerned. And now that you're saying how Izzy cost them on those plays, maybe Izzy can cost them at QB. That
Wow.
could be
That's a good question. After the first down during the last play of the half, Mick throws it up incomplete, taking us into the half. 13-0, don't sleep.
Now, I just want to open up with saying that I'm really disappointed in Izzy and the way he handled himself in his first half. The reason why is because the same ridicule that he is giving Tommy right now is the same ridicule that this Rep City team gives him when he's the quarterback. So how do you not know that? How do you not put yourself in his shoes and see, hey, he's not seeing me. Maybe we can work out some plays together or whatever. The communication's off. Maybe I'm going to give him a break because I go through the same thing when I make a mistake. So he needs to understand that before he ridicules him for not getting a pass here, for not making a play here. This man has been struggling all season, and you're playing short. Some of your better guys are not in this game, so he has to make it work. You guys got to make it work. Right now, it's not working, and as Izzy is complaining, he's making mistakes, he's getting flags, it's not helping the team. Another person, Stoney. Yes, I said earlier, Stoney's being Stoney, but this is a game that's important. You've been talking all of this smack before the game, and now Mick is actually looking like the person you said he's not. He's successful in the first half. You have another half to come back, and if you keep up the way you're playing right now, this Rep City's team is going to go down in this game and go down hard.
Lou, tell me what you think of Don't Sleep.
Well, Don't Sleep, I'll tell you. Mick, I've seen him play. I don't really like his style. He has an ugly mechanics, but he's doing. Look, he has 3 guys who he's used to playing with, which was a point that you said about JD.
Yeah.
Owen is from Expo.
Yep.
The kid, No Gloves, is another one that played for his team.
EB.
So he's
Yep.
comfortable. He's comfortable in that environment. Then Mike is on the low, a player that doesn't get the respect that he should get.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? He's a capable receiver. So now you got those 4 guys. I don't know. Don't Sleep is looking a little
And you didn't
dangerous.
even mention their 2 draft picks in Prince Mo and Rico.
Which is
So
crazy.
He's throwing the ball to guys who
Yes.
are not better than his draft picks. That's a good problem.
Right.
Because once he gets comfortable more with Rico and Prince Mo, this team's offense is going to be dangerous. I don't care if Mick throws with his left hand, left foot, eyebrows. It doesn't matter his style. Points are points. And the man put up 26 points last game.
Yeah.
So let's get rid of the fact that there's a lot of teams that don't like his style. A lot of teams says it's ugly to watch. At the end of the day, he's putting
winning.
up points. He came in this game the 5th best quarterback in the league. And now he had better numbers than Chuck.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey,
think
listen.
about this. Prince Mo and Rico haven't really. Well, Rico's only played what, 1 game?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So, and Prince Mo, played 2, 3?
about 2 games.
He hasn't really. He's done more on defense than on offense, not because
Right.
of whatever reason, but and like you said, they haven't even used those 2 picks on offense. Just imagine.
We're going to jump into the second half. First down, Tommy on 4 rushes, sacked by Rob as B-Dot is looking exhausted. Let me tell you something. I know we talk about Damo being dominant. I like Rob better. Rob is an
Way better.
athlete with power. He can do it multiple ways. Damo's only straight ahead power. If you're bigger than Rob, he could beat you with speed. If you're smaller than Rob, he could beat you with power. So you pick your poison. This guy, if you want to sit down and say Damo is your Aaron Donald, then I would say Rob is your Von Miller. He's a guy that can make multiple plays on the field and is way more athletic than he's given credit for. Big sack there. After getting the first down, Tommy is sacked again by Rob. B-Dot cannot stay in front of him. B-Dot can't block Rob. Yeah, he's bigger than Rob, but Rob has too much speed. He's beating him with speed and moves, not just power. And B-Dot shouts at him. He's blocking Rob, and he's trying to rush in against Shaq. Shaq is the reigning blocker of the year. So they're killing my man B-Dot. If this was 2K or Madden, they would have the Gatorade bottle over his head because this man is exhausted. Third down, Tommy's blitzed by Rob, blocked by B-Dot. Tommy throws it up to Cabby in the front of the end zone. Cabby comes down with it for the touchdown. Cabby gets an extra point. 13-7. Don't sleep, still at the lead. And why are they not doing this? What is going on? When everything fails, throw it up to Cabby. That's your Randy Moss. Get him the ball. They get him the ball, and he makes this don't sleep defense pay. Big play by Cabby there.
I was saying this on the field. Why haven't they tossed up a ball to Cabby yet? Listen, worst case scenario, that's exactly where you go. And I don't think that Don't Sleep expected him to just toss it up to Cabby at that moment. I don't see how you don't expect it. But at the end of the day, nobody puts a body on him. And you know Cabby's been doing this for a long time. So why not do it right now? They need it. They're desperate. And Cabby's able to come away with it on a big play, on a Moss play, on their whole defense. And that's something that you need maybe to get their momentum to get back into this game. They're running out of time, but this is a big play that they needed right when they needed it.
With Rob, right? Rob was manhandling B-Dot at one point. Yes, he's fast. He was pushing him into the quarterback, which as a quarterback, how are you going to throw the ball? You're running backwards. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he could have been tight. He was playing both ways. But Rob is a mule. That kid is strong and fast. You know, that's where to me, he's one of the better givers and blockers. And like you said before that, you said you'd rather have him at middle, and I see why. You know what I'm saying? That's a good position to put him in as well, but I don't think he can be stopped. I would love to see him against Ricky.
Yeah. You may get your wish sometime this season. Mick gets the ball back. Right now it's 13-7, Don't Sleep. Mick on 4 rush, throws a Macho on the sideline, gets past Cabby. Macho runs down the sideline for a nice game and the first time getting to the 3-yard line. Now listen, Macho's a former All-Star. And the fact that I like that Mick is getting the ball to everybody. Now, we're not gonna go crazy about Rep City's defense. They came in number 1 defense. They don't have Rel, they don't have Nietzsche. Those are 2 very important parts of their defense. So we're not gonna make it seem like their defense is trash. We're not gonna do all that. But at the end of the day, you play with who you got. And that is not Don't Sleep's problem, Matt. Their guys are not here. Great play by Mosh. Being Cabby as Cabby's trying to get all around the field, and they make him pay because they're attacking him. Mick then, on 4 rush, is sacked by Stoney. Stoney gets another sack. I think he kind of limits his celebrations, but he gets a sack here. 3rd and goal, Mick is going to find Mike in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Prince Mo gets the extra point. 21-7, Don't Sleep. But this pass looked like it could have been to Prince Mo, but Mike goes up and takes it. That is a good problem. It's crazy to know the closest defender to Prince Mo was his own teammate, Mike. That is a great play by Mick, finding somebody in the end zone. 21-7, Don't Sleep. After a short pass, Tommy throws to Izzy in the gap, who runs for a nice gain and first down. This is what they need Izzy to do. Didn't have a good first half. Definitely made a big play there. 3rd down, Tommy throws to Izzy in the gap, who runs it in for the touchdown. If you look here, Tommy with a quick pass on 3 rush, finding Izzy. Stoney gets the extra point. 21-14. Rep City's able to score.
And this is much needed. And one thing I mentioned before is when Tommy is chopping up the field and he's doing quick throws, he caught this defense off guard. Each throw was on 3 rush. He was quick on the throw, catching them right on their route before the defense can react. That's how he was able to get into the end zone. I think this is something that Tommy needs to look at moving forward. Maybe this is the strategy he needs to use because it was effective, and right away he was able to save some time getting into the end zone there.
Yeah, without a doubt, that those short passes as opposed to going for the bomb was definitely helping them move the ball. You know, and Jay, like you said earlier about throwing it up to Cabby, that's not going to work all the time. You know what I'm saying? You know, because teams they're going to catch on to it. Or they should have caught on to it before they did it the first time. You know, but that's what he's going to do.
Mick throws to Rico in the middle, open on the sideline for a nice game, picking up the first down. I love the fact that they're getting Rico involved. Definitely need a big plays from him. Mick then with 2 passes getting him to the 7-yard line. 4th and goal. Mick rolls right with blocker from Shaq. Finds Prince Mo in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Ruben gets the extra point. 28-14. He's able to throw 4 touchdown passes today.
Mick is keeping people quiet. Okay, what can you say? What can you say? The man's how many he's averaging a game? 3, 4?
In between 3 and 4, I believe. Yeah.
3 or 4, and they're winning. What else can you say? Now it's shh. Leave them alone until playoffs.
They're getting the first down. Tommy on 4 rush, throws a Finney in the gap, low, incomplete. 3rd down, Tommy with blocker from B-Dot is still sacked by Rob. Rep City ends up running out of time. Don't Sleep comes away with the win, 28-14. How this is looking, Lou? What do you take away from this game from Don't Sleep?
Well, again, like I said earlier, Don't Sleep is looking good. You know, Mick is sharing the love. But again, we got to look at the defense that he played against. You know, regardless of the fact he still put up 4 touchdowns. But you also got to think about they're missing 2 of their main players. But he still did he still did his job regardless of the fact. You know what I'm saying? They're looking good. What is halfway mark?
Yes, sir.
Halfway point, they're in a good position. You know, and that's without their defensive captain, Maine.
True. That's a good point. What do you think about Rep City? I know they were missing several of their superstars in no Rel, no Meech, no Ty. Cabby was here, but Cabby couldn't do everything on his own. What do you take away from them, Ghost?
I take away that attendance matters in these games. When you don't have these guys on the field, Ty, they really haven't had too much this season. But when you lose Meech and Rel, those are 2 guys that you can use on both sides of the field. And then they also didn't have Wesley. Gronk is another option that they could have had on this offense to help Tommy get some passes down the field. So there's a lot of things that they don't consistently have this season, and it's not helping Tommy get any more comfortable in this game. So this is something that they have to figure out because they're already past the halfway point with this game, and things are not going to get easier for them. And the fact that these are problems still in mid-season shows that they may this may spill into the playoffs, if anything else. So they got to fix it and fix it quick.
Well, I'm going to jump on both teams. First of all, little point of concern for some people and not for me, and I'm going to tell you why. Tommy has thrown 3 touchdown passes in 3 games as the starting quarterback for Rep City. Gronk has thrown 3 touchdown passes in the 1 game he started for Rep City. So that's not good. That means Tommy's throwing 1 touchdown a game. You average that out. But you know why it's not a concern for me? Because Akon did their championship run. So when D-Boy continuously says, I'm not concerned, I believe him. Some people say I didn't believe him, his face value, whatever. I believe him because this is exactly how they won a championship. So they don't need Tommy to score big points. They just need him to score when they need him to score. The only difference is with Grunk, that offense has more fun. They have more swagger. Now, on the other side with their defense, I already told you, yes, you can sit down and say they were missing Meech, they were missing Ty, they were missing Rel. I do not believe in this defense. I think this defense is fool's gold. Everything that glitters not gold. Yes, this defense was one of the top defenses coming in this game. This defense, when I look at the thing, this defense was number one, giving up 9 points a game average. But the problem was they faced Street Fan with no Lou, UTF with no Jeremy. Untouchables, Corey put up 3 touchdowns. Mick put up 4 touchdowns. So when they play elite quarterbacks, they don't play well. Yeah, they're going to say their guys wasn't here. 4 touchdowns is still 4 touchdowns in UFL. I don't care what. You have bodies out there. You have to make stops. And on the other side, what are we going to say about Mick now? The guy came in with 8 touchdown passes. Now he has 12 in 4 games. You may not like his style, but he's putting up points. And when the defense held, they won. Now the defense still gave up 2 touchdowns, but maybe that's just the best you're going to get on this defense. Mick is forced to carry the load, and as long as they got Prince Mo, you saw the play when he covered Cabby, that Cabby couldn't get the ball. You see Rico able to get in the end zone. As long as he's using those draft picks, along with them other guys that he's getting used to, this team can definitely make noise. I still think that they're a wild card team, but they're a dangerous wild card team.
So Jay, now that you're on the let's go with Grunk bandwagon, right? Who did they play when he threw those 3 touchdowns?
They when Grunk threw the 3 touchdowns,
yeah.
I believe they played UTF.
UTF, right? Without Jeremy.
Correct.
Right? Their defense is a little spotty, right?
Right.
Again, I could be wrong, but I don't think that's the way to go. Now, I think it's unfair for one game. That's just one game that he threw, those 3 touchdowns. But again, that's the only game he's thrown it. Now, I do agree. You think Rep City could be thinking, hey, we did it 2 years ago, didn't win a game all season, and we can turn it on in the playoffs. I don't know.
I know that's dangerous.
Yes, very dangerous. Especially, I think the teams are better in this year's league.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I would say I agree with Lou in the fact that their own division, the teams in their own division are better than most of the teams that were in this league at the time that they won the championship. So to really say that, oh, well, I'm not really that worried about this Rep City team because Stoney said that, they've done this before, whatever. This is a different league. So I'm throwing that right out the window. This team is in trouble. This team needs to fix their issues and fix it quick because this is not the same league that they won a championship in. It doesn't matter anymore that they won a championship in that season or whatever. This season is a completely different season. And this is why they have the issues right now, because they're looking in the past when they need to be looking in the present right now.
Hold on, Jay, before you go. Didn't Tommy throw in the City Island tournament and didn't do well?
Not at all.
With Rep City?
He threw, and I think they were quick in, quick out.
With Rep City.
Yep. I don't know why they thought he'd be successful here. He's really not. Again, in the 3 games he scored, he only threw 3 touchdown passes. But a lot of things that get Rep City into trouble. He asked me on the group chat, in the TFL group chat, when would I give this team respect? Their defense, because I think their defense is fool's gold. And I told him, if you stop Mick, then I'll give you some respect. You know what was Stoney's comment? Listen to this.
Stop Mick. To get some respect, there's quarterbacks way better than him in this league. Then for us, I need your respect to stop Mick. Man, we gonna stop Mick. Mick gonna stop himself.
Now, maybe Mick didn't get that memo because he put up 4 touchdowns. So maybe he didn't hear what Stoney said. Maybe if Stoney would have emailed that to him, he would have realized the role he had to play. But maybe he didn't get the script because he scored 4 touchdowns. And before Stoney has the audacity to talk about somebody else's quarterback, you need to find out who's going to be your starting quarterback. Because don't think Izzy's not running around catching passes saying, I could do better than that. Last time I was a starting quarterback, I remember taking this team to the #1 seed.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying.
And
I'm saying last time I threw for this team, we actually won the game and I put up 3 touchdowns. Now you're going with Tommy, who's barely getting 1 touchdown a game. So before Stoney want to throw stones, he better check his glass house.
I mean, my thing is, yes, and this team has issues no matter how you look at it. Rep City always has issues. Now, in terms of Izzy, yes, Izzy's looking at it, oh, I could do that. But remember, they were in first place, and then he was struggling to score in that playoff game where they were left on the field by Lou
in that Riot Squad team.
In that Riot Squad game. So he struggled to score in that game. In terms of Gronk, yes, he threw 3 touchdowns, but he also threw 2 interceptions that game. So that's not a thing that's always going to work when it comes to that type of play, meaning he takes risks. So he's going to throw interceptions. They need to be prepared for that if they're going to go with Gronk. So no matter where you look at it, there's going to be issues going on with this team. The funny thing with Stoney is, as he made that comment, I'm putting up the play where he gave up a touchdown that was thrown on him, thrown to JD with him in the vicinity. So these are comments that are premature. They are not necessarily in facts. So he needs to understand that. And as long as he keeps doing this and making his team look worse and worse, he's going to put a target on his team and they're going to look to kill him on the scoreboard, just like how Mick was able to throw 4 touchdowns on him in this game.
And you know what I hate? I hate when teams lose and say, we'll see in the playoffs. Let's focus on this loss. You lost.
Yeah.
I hate when teams use that as a bailout, similar to the Yankees lose and we got 26 championships.
But
Stop.
we do, though. We do.
We're worrying about now. You lost the game. You said something directly stated at Mick, and he blew you out. Let's call it what it was. He beat you by 2 touchdowns. Now, I'm not going to say a blowout, but he beat you by 2 touchdowns. He put 4 touchdowns on this #1 defense. Yeah. This is the other interesting part. Real quick. Because the only reason I play certain things is when you put it in the chat. So that means it's public. Now, we're going to say what? Rep City didn't have their whole defense, right?
Yeah.
So you got to give them a pass. Listen to his comments when I said they didn't play Jeremy on UTF or Lou on Street Fam. So that's what he's saying. He's saying that.
And Jay, think about
listen.
it. We played Street Fam with no Lou. Why? Because Spaz wanted to quarterback. That's not our fault. And then we didn't play UTF with Jeremy. Why? Because Jeremy got suspended for whatever reason. That's not our fault. UTB played us without our defense. That's our fault.
Well, this is your fault back to back. This is not working. Now, if you think you're going to stop people and just have Tommy throw 1 touchdown, I will not even unpack that playoff game. Go to the field and prepare to go home. Because they're not winning 1 game in the playoffs if they think this is going to work. Like you said, like Lou said, the teams that's in the league this year are better. The teams in this division are better this year than the teams that they played in the playoffs last year. Not going to happen this year. That 99 Toronto team, Monarchs, UTF, and possibly Don't Sleep are better than that team.
Yeah.
Same thing with that UTF team when Ramsey threw. These teams are in their division are better. And we ain't even talk about the other side with DG. We ain't even talk about the other side with Primetime, PME. I mean, they got other teams on that side. At the end of the day, you can no longer hang your hat on that championship. You can no longer hang your hat saying, hey, we'll see in the playoffs. You must win regular season games. They count. You're trying to stay out of that wild card game. And right now, this Rep City team is 2-2. So we're gonna wrap this one up. We're gonna wrap this one up with don't sleep and just put some respect on Mick's name. They don't give this man his props. Coming in with the win over Rep City, 28-14. We'll be right back.